Peter.
Hey,
Hello, that's
hello.
Marcia. Okay, Marcia, how you doing?
I'm okay, and you?
Yeah, I'm fine. That's up there is Delto, the other.
I can't see him. Okay. Hi,
Delto.
guys.
That's Delto. That
Marcia.
is Carolina. Okay, Carolina is joining us next week. On Wednesday, she's becoming a Keep Calm student. and then
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hey,
Hey,
Dennis.
Okay, Emílio is joining. Emílio is joining from Recife. You see, Emílio is an ex-colleague of mine. He studied with me on college. I guess Oswaldinho is going to remember him. Okay, so it's your turn, Caroline. Introduce yourself. Nice shirt, huh? I
Yes.
like your shirt. Go on. Carolina, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Carolina. I don't studied English for a long time, and I have a little difficult to talk about me or anything in English. The last time I studied was when I was a child. It's been a long time ago, so
Not so long.
I hope not so long, but in 24 years of life, a little bit time, it's much more.
And down there is Emílio. Hello, Emílio. How are you? Emílio is frozen. Go on, Carolina. Emílio has been frozen. Okay? Tell a little bit about yourself. So you studied English. Where did you study English?
I studied at the school in Cultura Inglesa.
Wow.
Much long ago. A great class, but I don't like it very much.
Nice. Okay.
Can we go next? Okay.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent.
Nice.
That is Osvaldo. Osvaldo, introduce yourself, please.
Okay. And good afternoon for all. My name is Osvaldo Pazini. I'm a psychologist. I work here with Paulo. And
no, Paulo, teacher Bob, okay?
Who is Paulo?
Me, I am Paulo, okay? Paulo Roberto. My real name is Paulo Roberto.
Yes. And I'm in Keep Calm and Learn Good English. I used to give a support, emotional support by the students that have a difficulty in start talking English, even when they don't know exactly how to speak. It's like me, but I have a possibility to speak English, and speaking English is like ride a bike. Once you start talking, do you start thinking English, you know? And I'm glad to know Delto in Canada, and Emil, Marcia, and everybody. Okay.
Marcia, it's your turn. Marcia?
Go ahead, Marcia.
I was mute. Yeah, I was mute. I'm Marcia. I'm also an English teacher. I am married to Bob and to Paulo. I'm married to both. For his family, he's Paulo. And
Go,
for
Bob.
people in general, he's Bob. And I'm here to give support if necessary. And I'm sure I will learn about Canada with our guest today.
Yeah.
That's it.
For people who don't know, Marcia wrote 4 books. She has written 4 books about English. Okay?
Oh, that's good.
Dennis, it's your turn.
Hello, hi everybody. My name is Dennis. I am 43 years older. I am married to Christian, and I call her Chris. In my professional, I am actuarial. I don't know if you know what is actuary, né? But I work in the big company. So that moment I am using a lot of English to communication with Japanese people and British people too. And in my free time, I like to play soccer, but this moment is not happen.
Possible.
Possible, yes, possible, yes. And to go to stadium to see my favorite soccer team, yes.
Soccer team.
Soccer team, yes. And so I am studying English to use, of course, in my job, in the future travel, and to watch movie with more freedom. Yes. So I had a good experience in my life when I went abroad to Canada. So I lived in Canada about 1 month to learn English. So I love the people work and live in Canada, and specifically in Toronto. So, and nice to meet
Really
you, Delta.
nice.
Okay.
Excellent. And
So,
that is Emílio. Emílio is speaking from Recife. Huh? We call the Brazilian Venice. And believe me, that's a wonderful city. Huh? Emílio, introduce yourself to us, please.
Okay, it's a pleasure to me to be in touch with all my dear friends. And my name is Emilio, as I have been so well introduced by teacher Bob, because I used to call him Paulo. But okay, no problem about it. We used to be colleagues, Aldo and Paulo, at our time of college. At least the first bachelor's degree I know of myself. I don't know Oswaldo, because I think he's also an engineer, a psychologist, whatever, maybe a doctor. And I had the opportunity to meet the spouse of teacher Bob. I'm sorry, because Paul is always in my mind. Sorry. And
no problems.
I've been living in Recife for 23, 24 years, and it's really an amazing place to live in. And I used to work for an international organization called World Vision, and I used to be a project manager over there, and I use a lot of English at a time. So I think my conversation skill is a bit rusty, so I apologize for that. But it's
you're not
good.
rusty. You are really nice.
Thank you very much. You are encouraging me all the time. Thank you so much, because I do need it. Okay. And,
that's our job as a teacher, huh?
Oh, thank you so much. And
me too, me too.
So I'm also married. Just I think people are saying that. And I have 2 kids, Bruna, 27, and João Marcos, who lives still with me, 23. Okay, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Nice to be here. Nice. It's really nice to receive you in here, Emílio. Emílio is an old friend. For you guys having an idea, we celebrated last year our 30th graduation anniversary.
So
you
please,
see, we graduated in 1989. No less
please do not talk about ages, because we are ageless.
Okay, so and here we have Delto. Delto is going to speak. Is free for some questions. Okay, he's going to make a small presentation about Canada, and after you can make questions again. So if you have any questions to him, go on. I give you 5 minutes for the questions, okay? Go on, people. I know that Dennis has one question.
Yeah, the first I'd like to ask about what city do you live in the Canada? Or state,
Okay,
for example?
when I was in Brazil, I didn't know anything about Canada. I've never been here before. So when I enrolled in my process to become a resident, I put there some cities. I put Vancouver or Toronto. So I came first to Toronto, but the city is very, very expensive, and
Yes.
every year is more expensive than the previous year. So I moved to another city, small city, 50 kilometers away to the east, so-called Whitby. Uh, and nowadays, I live in Barrie. Barrie is a city around 90 kilometers away from downtown Toronto. And believe me, here is colder, snow more, but cheaper. Cheaper. I was talking with Bob before. Yeah, this city, Barrie. I will spell it Barrie. This city is possible to live because my wife and I we were retired in Brazil, and here you just work as in. I don't work anymore in IT area. That's my former area. But it's possible to have a good lifestyle, a good condition to live here in Barrie because lease is not too high like Toronto, right? Toronto is too expensive. And now that's the city I live in nowadays is Barrie, around 90 kilometers away from Toronto to the north.
Nice.
North Toronto. It's really cold up
Yeah,
there.
northern. Yeah.
Wherever
No,
you
it's
go
cool.
north in Canada,
was
it's
talking.
colder.
Yeah, here, but nowadays I don't know what's happening in the weather condition because usually in January and February is the worst time. Uh, Usually the lake here is becoming completely frozen. You can walk in the water. You can walk because it's frozen. But these days it didn't happen. So the temperature outside, of course, if you consider in Brazilian standards, it's cold, but now it's -1. It's amazing.
Hot there, people.
Yeah.
It's hot up there.
It's a hot. No, look here. Short
Yes, nice.
sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
no,
weather
you
is
don't use clothes here
perfect
inside the
there.
house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone? Make questions. Come on. You have 5 minutes only, okay? Go on. Questions.
Delta, I just would like to know what has motivated you to move on, to move to another place, another country, another culture, language, and the weather. You have told us about the weather. So what motivated you over there?
If I tell something, for instance, first to talk about the weather, that's the first fear from Brazilians because they think, oh, Canada is cold, it's cold, it's cold. It's cold, it's really cold. The weather, you feel, I'm from Rio Grande do Sul state.
So,
I felt colder than in Rio Grande do Sul than here, believe me. Because here there are excellent infrastructure to support intensive winter. You don't have this in Brazil, in any place.
Yes.
In any place, you don't have this. Right? So my first motivation started 20 years ago when I made my first trip outside from Brazil to North America. I went in Michigan to do just to stay for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And I was in an event, and someone from the United States asked me a question: if I want to immigrate to U.S., do you have any idea to immigrate? And I said, no, I don't have any idea. And they gave me an advice. Oh, if you want to immigrate, try to do to Canada, because Canada has an excellent program to an official program to immigrate. Because in US, you need to get married or get some offer from any kind of company. In Canada now, they have a formal process to become a resident. And after that, I started to learn something about this idea to immigrate. And because I was doing a master's degree in Federal University in Rio Grande do Sul, one day I saw the presentation from Canadian consulate, how to immigrate to Canada. Oh, I was curious. And after 1 hour and a half there, I decided in 2001, I decided I will immigrate to this country. And when I came at home, and I was talking with my wife, and I said, one day we immigrate to Canada. And she said, are you crazy? It's a cold place. It's cold here in Brazil. Can't imagine there. No. You need to understand better the situation. And I moved to São Paulo. I lived in São Paulo from 2003 until 2009. When I moved to São Paulo in 2003, I visited the Canadian consulate. And there are, I forgot the name, the buildings, the United Nations, something like that, close to Delto Ribeiro. I went there and I asked some questions. They said, no, everything is via website. And I start the process to see what's happening after that. Maybe if I get some visa to go to Canada, I had 5 years to use that. But after we went in that process, the things changed, right? And I start to send my resume for companies in Canada because I'm from IT area, and I got a job. And during this time, I got my permission to move to Canada as a resident. That was my motivation, right?
Really nice, isn't it? You see, his accent is too Canadian. Okay, people have to be really connected.
No,
really
my accent is gauchês.
If you talk to me, you're gonna realize that lots
influence
of
French,
accents.
yes. And the Canada use the influence the language French, yes.
Yeah.
because
the Montreal and the Quebec
I think it's believe it or not, nobody speaks French here in this area in Ontario.
Yes, because around the Toronto, around the Toronto, the French is not used.
But if you go to the northern for instance, you cross the border, okay, everyone can speak French, and that is the opposite. Nobody speaks English there, except in Montreal, because it's a big city, right? Nobody speaks. They are in the same country, but they speak different language. They are considered like weird. Foreigners, and
that's
here
really
the same.
weird. And Montreal is quite a city. It's quite a city. It's something
beautiful.
It's something really beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's something fantastic.
The only problem, they speak French.
That's the problem.
When I went to Canada, I spent my 1 month in Toronto, and I visit to Montreal, Quebec, and Ottawa. So in Quebec, there, I don't know, 90% use French. There I had difficult because my English is not good. Imagine the people speak with me French. So, but Toronto is nice people. And one day there, I use in the Portuguese in the subway. Man, the people starts to talk with me in the Portuguese there.
That's hard,
isn't it? Is a lot of country there. into there. Yes, I love this city.
And you,
I
Carolina?
memorize your name is, what's your name? Oh, Dennis.
Dennis,
I
yes.
memorize one sentence in French. I just say when I will go to this place, I just say sorry.
I don't speak
Je n'ai
French.
parlé pas français. Just
Je n'ai parlé
Je n'ai parlé pas
Je l'ai
français.
parlé.
At
we
this time,
know
I say exactly the same.
that's one. That's
Exactly.
one. I know how to say 2 or 3. La bouteille de minerale. And what's the other, Marcia?
L'addition, s'il vous plaît.
No, I didn't understand.
L'addition.
L'addition, s'il vous plaît. That's are the 2 questions. And I don't know really well how to speak the second.
And the we. Yes, we.
Oui. À bientôt.
And bonjour.
Bonjour.
That's it. I had a very interesting story in Paris. I was in the immigration going to Paris. Of course, they stopped me. Every place I go, they stop me. I am the chosen. I guess I have a target painted on my ass, because everybody, all immigration agents, they like me. So, and I was stopped, of course, and we started speaking English, and the guy speaking French, and he asked me, "Do you speak Portuguese?" I said, "Yes, I'm Brazilian. I speak Portuguese, of course." And we started talking about in Portuguese. You see, in France, in the middle of the airport, the guy couldn't speak English, and I said, "Je ne parle pas de français," and he said, "No," but they like to talk to me. I don't know what happens. Okay, Carolina. Can I call you Carol or Carol?
Yeah.
Carol, do you have any questions to Delto?
At this time, no.
Not at
I would
this
like
time.
to
listen
I
a
would
little
like
bit.
to listen a little bit.
Okay, Emílio, Osvaldo. No, Emílio made his question. Osvaldo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have been in Canada 3 or 4 times in different places. And at this time, I felt the Canadian people is a little bit arrogant, or more arrogant than American people. I would like to know if you feel welcome or felt welcome when you arrived in Canada.
Yeah. I think it's the opposite. Canadians are very polite and educated people. If you compare with Americans are very arrogant and stuck up, right? They usually, because Canada, especially because I'm not in Great Toronto area, but I'm close, very close to Toronto, and many people living here and working in Toronto. Toronto is a place when if you consider more than 50% of population are immigrants. They were born in different countries, Brazil, India, and other. So they need immigrants because the only way for this Canadian economy have improved is just receiving more and more immigrants, because every immigrant spend around $10,000 when they come here in the average. Okay, $10,000. Can you imagine around 300,000 immigrants come every year to Canada. 300,000 multiplied by $10,000. So it's billions of dollars every year. In this economy, they need immigrants. No, they accept immigrants, of course, because it's too recent, not like in Brazil, because in Brazil, all of us, you are immigrants from different places. Doesn't matter where, but you are
Different
an immigrant.
places. Yeah.
But you are the fourth, fifth generation, right? In Canada, they are in the first and the second generation. The second generation is with other people. So this idea that Canadians are arrogant, I think it's
That
the
doesn't
opposite.
match. It
Americans
does.
are more arrogant than Canadians.
Yeah,
It's
the
different.
thing
They are
doesn't.
very polite.
Go on.
When I talk here,
Yes.
when they ask me here, where are you from? And I say I'm from Brazil. They are beautiful place. They talk about Brazil.
Yes.
They ask questions, and they know everything about Brazil,
Yes. Rio de
about
Janeiro.
politicians,
Yes.
about corruption, and they know everything. Believe me.
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro and
Yeah,
Neymar
yes.
today.
I don't know what the Osvaldo there's this feeling because I was there, I don't know. The Canadian people, I don't know, loving people, talk easy, don't have. I don't know. I didn't have this impression about the Canadian people. Yeah, I ate in the house in my host house, my family. How can I say host family?
Host
Homestay,
And
family.
yes, and
homestay,
I
right?
homestay. Yes, so I ate in the other family too because I met and Portuguese immigration, yes, Portuguese immigration, and I ate in in their house. I watched movie. I watched these guys. You spend their time to know the city, to know the other, to know the other people. I don't know. I love Toronto. I love Canada. I love Quebec, for example. I don't know. United States. I met some guys, but my impression is the opposite from Oswald. I'm sorry, Oswald. It's my opinion.
Okay, no problem.
The subway
Osvaldo
in
is a
the
nice
into
guy.
the bus in downtown. Downtown is terrible. Yeah, in the streetcar. My God, I knew in the museum about the shoes. University Toronto. I knew this place. I knew a lot of people in the Canada. And the Canada for me, beer is expensive there. I drank there the Canadian beer. It's not good, yes, but the beer, the alcohol there is expensive. I don't know, Bob. You know, you know me, yes.
Oh my, this is my student Dennis, okay? Carolina,
I'm sorry.
put
That's
your hands
okay,
on your.
Dennis. That's okay, Dennis. Don't you worry.
Yeah, but Dennis is quite a guy. Yeah, take a look. He's always it's a can of beer. I don't like beer very much. Okay, Marcel, why this face? Why this face, Marcel? I don't understand you. Okay, but that is really interesting. I didn't feel in Canada that arrogancy the Oswald is telling. Perhaps he got some. He was unhappy with talking to some people, or he met some arrogant people because Canadians are really receptive people. They are really nice people. The problem in Canadians is their accent that they speak but that's okay. You go there
Yeah.
two or 3 days, you get acquainted to the pronunciation, and things flow. Okay. Any more questions? Emilio, do you have any other
Bob,
question? Oh.
One question. Yeah.
Just to let you know, I have talked with you before. The main problem is to understand certain immigrants from different countries, especially from Asia. I don't know. You can imagine what kind of people I talk about because they have a different rhythm and accent is so strong. It's difficult to understand. Very difficult to understand.
Yeah, he was talking about Hindi people. Hindi people are a challenge everywhere in the world. Hindi people are really difficult to understand. I've worked with foreign trade some time ago, and I've worked 20 years with foreign trade. And we received people because I worked in the international department of a big bank, Bradesco Bank, and man, it was really interesting because everybody was supposed to speak English there. It was an international department, but when Hindi popped up, I was the chosen one. No, Bob, go there because he's in Hindi and people don't understand. Just I myself I had to translate their English into English in order to make people understand what I worked as a translator in there. They are a challenge. They are really a challenge.
Yeah.
Dennis, you have another question? Go on.
Yes, I'd like to know. In Brazil, you know that here the population use the system SUS, SUS system. In the Canada, it's the same system like the community system, like SUS, or it's different than Canada. For example, is like Brazil or like United States, and they don't use that kind of system health.
Yeah, I understand. It's similar Brazil. Similar. There is no private health plan like in Brazil. You have two options: public health and private health. And there is no private plan here. Everyone, doesn't matter what kind of position you have in the company, everyone need to use the same system. And the systems are provincial because Canada is divided in provincial country, and they don't have states like in Brazil. So in Ontario, there is a system specific for Ontario. In Saskatchewan, there is another system. In British Columbia, other system. So it's very similar than Brazil, with the difference that there are few people, right? If you compare Brazil, if you go to the walk clinic, if you need to talk with a doctor or ask some appointment there, it's complicated because thousands of people are going to the same place. Here is different. You can wait a little bit. People complain here about that, but well, there stay sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. In Barrie, in Toronto is closer than Brazil. It's similar because more people living there. 3 million people live in Toronto. But the system is very similar than Brazilian system. Okay.
Emilio, do you have any question? Another question?
No. Just like a compliment to what Dennis has asked. When you talk about health,
Emilio, there is some noise in your connection, in your sound.
Let me try.
I guess he's at the beach, okay, people.
Can you hear me?
I guess he's at the beach.
I'll close my video. I'll interrupt my video so that he can hear me out. Can you hear me now?
A lot of noise, right? Bad noise. Now it's better.
What's going on?
Now it's much better.
Now it's better.
Much better. Okay, I'm holding the microphone here, close to my mouth. I just want to know, when you talk about the healthcare system in Canada, I think as you were speaking about it, it does work, isn't it? I think we have a universal system here in Brazil, but sometimes it doesn't work. Maybe because we have a lot of people for limited resources. but I do understand. I don't know. I just my question is, it does work over there. I mean, if you need exams, if you need image exams and things like that, you have access to that, or you have to pay for that?
Oh, you don't need to pay anything. Everything you pay your taxes, right? The taxes here is 30 in Ontario province is 13% of every product. For instance, if you buy just for instance, you buy this cell phone here, I'll give you a price, $500. You pay 13% plus this price plus 13%. In Brazil, they put tax inside the price. That's the problem. People don't pay tax in Brazil. I think that's the first thing they need to do in Brazil. Change the tax system. Terrible. But we don't need to pay anything here. But some exams, specific exams, it's not covered by this health plan here. In this case, you need to pay. But just as for specific kind of exam you need, all the exam, everything I tried to do here, I didn't pay anything. And the quality is similar than if you have a SulAmérica, Bradesco, or Unimed system in Brazil. It's very similar, very similar.
Okay. Tell me, what
basic
about...
question.
Go on, Oswaldo.
Basic question. Did you take the vaccine, COVID vaccine already?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But yesterday I was sorry. Yesterday I was because every day I need to listen some news about the government, and the plan is vaccinate everyone until September this year. But they didn't start the mass vaccination. They didn't start so far. And the vaccines here is Pfizer and maybe Moderna, something like that.
Moderna.
Two vaccines so far. Yeah. And the last, you are locked down here now, right? Just for let you know. You are locked down. Everything is closed here.
My goodness.
It's not the same in Brazil.
Brazil, we have
no
open up, no lockdown. We're open up. Everything is working.
Yeah. Bobby, help me. How can I say esculhambado in English?
This is a kind of mess.
Screwed up.
Screwed up. Yeah, that's it. That's screwed up.
Screwed up. Everything screwed up.
My question to you,
but
to have this type of this level of services you have in there, of course the government must have charge on you guys, on you citizens, a lot. What about the rate or the percentage of your earnings you pay on taxes?
Tax. It looks like in Brazil you have some range to pay taxes, but you can, if you earn, for instance, the salary here, the measure is by year, not by monthly. And how much do you receive in this company? I receive $70,000 per year. Okay. And if you receive around $100,000 per year, it's a good, very good salary. You pay around 40% of your income, 40%. If you receive around 60,000 or 70,000, you discount between 25 and 30%.
Yeah.
So it depends on what your salary, annual salary. Yeah,
it's
annual salary.
It's interesting because I heard of some countries in Europe that they reach to 42% of salary, and this is insane also. Okay. Okay, people, do
Yeah.
you have
Here,
any more
maybe
questions,
the maximum
Carol?
is
Do you have any
44.
question, Carol? Carol?
I love
Yeah.
this class. I love
Huh?
this class, but I don't have any question. It was nice to listen, you guys. And I hope in the next class I can say a little bit more.
Yeah, really nice. Delto has some things about to speak about Canada, so I'm going to permit him to make this kind of presentation. Okay, he has some issues to talk about Canada, some motivational things about Canada also.
Yeah.
Go on, also, Delto.
What's happened? I received, when I was in São Paulo 4 or 5 years ago, I received an invitation from I speak in Portuguese, FMU college, to participate in a weekly. They made a lot of speech there, and they asked me if I can make some presentation about my experience in Canada. And I prepare something, and I try to just to. I can't do this here because it takes 1 hour almost. But I took some topics here to discuss. Just to let me open here. The first topic I remember is my motivation. And someone asked me, well, maybe Osvaldo, right? Osvaldo asked me questions about that.
Okay, if you need to share if you need to share your screen, it's open. Okay.
Oh, okay, I tried. Let me see. I'm not expert in this software. Help me. How can I share here?
You go to your computer.
Where I can press here to share?
Yeah, there's
my
a button
computer.
named share here. Down here, you have here share screen. It's a green one.
Oh, share screen. Share screen. Yeah.
It's a green one.
Okay. Excellent. Did you see that?
You see, we'll see. Yeah, we can see it. FMU,
okay.
FIM.
Let's just put there. 1 second. Okay, this presentation made to there is a logo from FMU here. Again. And I put this, I speak in English, okay? Immigrant experience, my name. Motivation to immigrate. Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, best city to live in around the world.
Calgary is quite a city.
Put some pictures.
Yeah. Calgary is quite a
city.
You
know Calgary, right, man?
Yeah.
Have you been Calgary? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Twice as well.
Yeah. I've never been there, but because it's too far, right? It's better take a plane in this Brazil than go to Calgary to do, because everything there is similar than here. I don't have anything to do there, right?
It's quite a place, man.
High demand for immigrants, right? High demand for immigrants. That's the motivation. I need to be a little bit faster because this presentation is to do in 1 hour.
Go fast. Go fast.
Motivation to immigrate. The different sightseeings, winter and
summer games
and summer sports. Because people thinking, it's cold, I stay at home. No, we can't stay. There are a lot of winter parks here to do something. Not for me anymore. I prefer to stay at home, do my barbecue, drink my beer and wine. Right?
Yes, I visited the Niagara Falls. Beautiful.
Yeah, Niagara. Niagara Falls. Picture here is an excellent place to visit. But just 1 day, don't need it more.
Yes.
Talk about inflation, right? Less than 3% a year.
It's just like a country in
Brazil. Yeah, Brazil. Just to compare in Brazil, I remember I have good memory about this. In 2009, I paid $1.10, $1.20 for 1 liter of gasoline, right? Now I pay 95 cents for the same liter. 95 cents. I paid less than 11 years ago.
That's it. Huh?
Milk. If you buy
That's a dream come true.
milk here is they increased 25 cents from 10 years ago and today. It's a very stable country. Motivation, okay. Between the 10 and the best education around the world, 50% of the population have a graduation, right? Here's some university here, some famous university. One important thing, every university and college here are private. There is no public university here. Here they talk about reputation, environment factors, politicians, economic and lifestyle. In Canada, almost in between the five, between our first and second sometimes, right? Multicultural country, they accept people from different countries. That's the key for Canadian success. They accept a lot of immigrants. Those immigrants, they can choose because it's not easy to come to Canada as a permanent resident. When I did that 14 years ago, was hard, but now it's harder. In 1971, it is official country about ethnic groups, different idioms. They accept any kind of religion. There are a lot of Muslim people here. You can see here, in some places I'll show. Here is about health. That's the card I use here, health. There is, for every immigrant, people with work permits to work here or permanent residents and citizens, they use this kind of card to have access to health public. Jobs, the government pay, they give a lot of incentive. They pay some companies, consultancy companies in human resource to help immigrants to looking for a job. This first one, Learning and Enrichment Foundation, I was there for 4 months. They gave me a lot of instructions. I was there all day long for 4 months, and after that, I got a kind of stage for a couple of weeks more, just to speak English with native speakers all the time. It happened in 2010. Every kid, like a Bolsa Família in Brazil, right? Every kid below 18 years old receive a certain amount every year. They say Canada Child Tax Benefit. It's around between $300 and $400 per month for each kid. Multiply by 4, because Canadian dollar is lower than American dollar. Libraries in Brazil, if I remember, I think I was in libraries in Brazil also twice. And here, every Saturday I went to the library, because the library is not just to get books, but they get together all the people who stay there, especially immigrants, to have some different kind of event and participate. But after the pandemic time, I stopped to go there. They closed the doors. It's very sad, very sad. Okay, about the graduation. This RESP is an acronym about, they say, let me see, I forgot the name. Registered Education Savings Plan, because kids, it's different culture, right? Kids here, with 2 years, 3 years old, they parents start to do some savings to pay university when they are after 18 years old. And they call so-called registered education savings plan. And the government puts 20% in every amount you put there, the government put 20% more.
Wow.
That's a good incentive to study when you are in the age to start university. Work opportunities. There is a very famous sentence here. Do you have a Canadian experience? I don't know when I came here. What is the Canadian experience? Canadian experience means if you are engaged in some different kind of events, like for instance, if you was in a university, if you have experience as a worker here, any kind of experience, you'll be accepted here, and they consider you. Oh, now you have a Canadian experience, because when you come here, you think your mind think as if you are living your country, but it's other country. It's different. You need to understand the other country. You don't compare. In Brazil was easier this or worse this. No, it's other country. Understand the other country. That's the so-called Canadian experience, right? They appreciate a lot if you speak French and English at the same time, because you have more opportunities, especially from jobs from the government. There is no difference here between public employee and private employee. Everyone is the same. Yeah, there's no difference. The way to contract people and hire people as a public employee or in private company is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
IELTS.
Okay, it's very important thing. I mean, do you remember, Bob? You helped a lot in this exam. You need to prove your proficiency to become a resident. And the more you study, more you see that you need to study more. So it's complicated, but it's hard, but with some effort, you can reach out the grades you need to become a resident. There's a test. Test is French test. Volunteer programs are a great, I think the best way and easy way to get a Canadian experience, because you go to some place you don't receive anything. It's very common here, but you get a Canadian experience. You receive some feedback from others. You have a referral if you try to get some job after that. They ask me, do you have Canadian experience? Yes, I was a volunteer in that place for 3 months, and they ask someone to give you feedback about you. Resume, the resume in Brazil is quite similar than here, but you need to change some points because they don't accept your resume from Brazil here. Maybe you can lose opportunities about that. And you need to put your resume in the Canadian way. The Canadian way is similar than American way in this case. And you need to prepare to job interview, right? A lot of questions. You need to prepare a lot. It's different. The interview in Brazil is completely different than here. Okay. You need to work close to your job, because if you see these pictures here, you can see the car upside down. This car is common here because people need to change. You need to change every 6 months. You need to change your tires and put winter tires. Every October, I put my winter tires. In March, I put my seasonal tires, all season tires. It's regular tires, right? So, because it's very dangerous driving during the winter without the snow tires.
Yeah, really dangerous.
Certification are much appreciated here. For instance, project management, IBM, because it's international certification. Okay, talk about the educational system, right? College, the difference between college and university, because in Brazil there's no difference. Everything is a high degree. College is high degree, but you receive just contents to become a specialist in one area. And university is more general. In college, usually is no more than 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, 3 years, no more than. Elementary schools from 6 until 14 years old. You can see here people, Muslim people work studying together. From 14 to 18 years is 4 years. They call high school, right? Talk about university, talk a little bit more. Health public again. About the temperature.
That's the problem up there.
minus 25.
That's the problem.
Believe it or not, one day a person in Brazil asked me, how could you take a shower in Canada? Well, no problem, because my house here, the temperature is around 22, 23 degrees every day during the summer and during the winter, because the summer here is too hot. Sometimes the temperature here is reach 4 degrees during the summer and minus 35 in the winter.
Well, to have an idea, in the North Hemisphere, it is really common.
The North is minus 50.
Yeah.
Minus 50.
And it's really common to have heated floors in the kitchen and in the bathroom. So you step on the ground, the ground is heated, so it's really nice. But
that's a good point to mention, because nowadays, because the temperature is not too cold now, what's happened? Snow more. It's the opposite.
Yeah,
snow more when the temperature is close to 0 degrees. And after snow become colder, and everything is frozen.
Yeah.
For you, fall is easy, very easy to fall. Okay. This picture here is 10 years ago. That house was mine in other city. I was cleaning my driveway to put my car inside, because if you don't remove this snow, it's not a lot of snow. Here in Barrie, it's no more than this place here. Again, that's my previous car. Was a Pontiac. Great car. I remember. Good memories from this car.
Especially Canadian one.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. It's very important information. Population, 80% of population live in a range no more than 300 kilometers beyond the border from US. And the reason is easier, because it's not too cold like northern, right? And during the summer, it's easy past 35 degrees and sometimes 40. It's too cold. It's too hot as well.
Yeah, when we talk about Canada, the only thing you remember is about the cold weather. We don't.
Yeah, but it's cold. It's cold during from November to March. It's cold. October is not too cold, right? November to March is cold. Here I put something I heard about Canada in my impression after that, about job. and I put here, it can take some months to get a job, 1 year maybe, but you need a lot of patience and money to to live during the hard times, or get some survival job. There is no any demerit to get a job as a survival job. There are a lot of Brazilians who are working as a Uber driver and other things here, and they can get a good money here. And with a big difference than Brazil, there is no risk to someone rob you or steal you outside, because the violence is minimal here. Financial planning, I think this amount here is a little, can put 20% more than before, right? And the same couple can need $4,500, but now they don't need, they need a little bit more. About cold, if you colder in Brazil than in Canada, it's true. Here is colder, but you feel colder in Brazil because there's no infrastructure to prepare and to support the intensive winter. About culture, different accents, beliefs, and lifestyle. You need to be prepared and accept the different lifestyles. And that's the reason they are in the first stage. Maybe some years ahead, maybe 50 years ahead, 40 years ahead, they will be more Canadians than today, right?
It's quite a
violence. There are some problems here, but you can't compare with Brazil. You can't compare. It's different country. During the winter, just for during the summer, 5 a.m. is sunrise. 5 during the winter, 7:30 a.m. sunrise. A lot of difference.
There is a number.
And sunset is during the summers. Then
that is
during the summers, sunset is 10.
Yes, there is a number phone and the people call about it. In Toronto, there is a device into the train, the number of the press. The presses.
That's a little bit.
I think that Bob, that's the main topics to discuss with people. I think we don't need to discuss more because every topic here you can stay 30 minutes to describe everything, right? I finish here my small presentation.
Very good.
Let me see how can I go.
Excellent.
Okay, how can
I stop
this?
Okay.
Share here. Okay, they asked about new share. Let me see on the. Oh, okay, everything is fine. I try to stop my sharing.
Well, what did you miss the most in Brazil? What did you miss in the most in Brazil? Here, your country.
Listen for it, but nowadays you can cover this the lack of integration with my old friends, right? But now there are a lot of ways to keep in touch with them. But for instance, every Saturday I liked a lot to play soccer or football. Right? Yeah. But here, you can't consider pandemic time because it's so different. But before that, it's hard to get the same people to play soccer. One day, when you play soccer here, you play soccer with women together. Women play soccer with you together. It's so crazy, right? People from different countries, and I can't speak with them like in Brazil and speak and you complain something. Oh, give me the ball here. Well, it's so different, right? I think that's on Saturdays. I had my friend there. At the end of the job, especially in São Paulo, because in São Paulo the traffic jam is so heavy in the end of the day, and every day you went to some bar to talk, to discuss, to watch
Sorry, people, I was
some
bursting.
games, especially soccer. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and but that's the main thing. But the rest of the things, for instance, you must to understand that you are in a different country. You have some advantages here and a lot of disadvantages that you can't compare in your mind all the time. Oh, in Brazil, was better. Here, better in Canada. Because if you start to compare all the time,
You have
maybe you
problems.
can give up there to live in Canada. And maybe you can go back to your country. Many people go back to the country because they missing their families and other things. It's very typical from Brazilian families, and I'm considered in the same way that those families. For instance, I have a friend here. He came here from João Pessoa, Paraíba. He came 1 year ago with his wife and kids. And after 10 months, they decide to go back to Brazil. They spend a lot of money here to study, to take college and other things, and now they decide to go back because they don't know if in this pandemic time when you finish this, they spend more money than you expect. The Brazilian currency went down the last 10 months, and now they pay more for the same thing they bought before. So that's a huge problem because if you start all the time compare your country that you were born, you live your culture with other country like Canada, probably you give up. It's because believe me, it's not easy to live in different countries. It's not easy.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, kids. Any more questions about about his presentation?
No, I think
Dennis?
for me, it's okay.
No, perfect. I
Emilio?
understood.
Go on, Dennis.
No, I understood in my opinion, I'd like to try it. But my wife is how can I say?
It's a bit afraid of it.
Yes, it's a close with her family, so
And that's
it's not
something that
possible for
counts.
me. For me, it's okay,
That
but my
counts.
wife
That's also counts.
is closer.
That is a factor to be analyzed before doing this kind of change.
Yes.
Dennis, right?
Yes.
Dennis, if you have this idea to immigrate to a country like Canada, you can discuss in other time in private, and I can give you a lot of tips about that and probably take a decision because I know it's especially because in Brazil you are Latin people. We have different. Our culture is similar than people from Mexico, from Argentina, from Argentina. No, I talk about for Uruguay.
Yes.
From Uruguay, from Chile. They are very similar than us. You evaluate a lot our family, right? Friends. When you come to other country, it's totally different. So but it's a hard decision. But many people, I know some people here from Mexico, from Brazil, and Rio de Janeiro, Pernambuco, Paraíba, São Paulo, and after 3-4 years, the decision is no, I don't go back to Brazil anymore. I can't live in Brazil anymore. My mind is here in Canada now, right? Because this country is amazing.
This is a mindset attitude.
Yeah.
That is something. Delto, 1 hour and 15 minutes have gone now, and
more than we expect, right?
More than we expected, and it was really nice talking to you, and God bless you for your attention with us, with my students, my friends in here, and I'd really like to give you a big hand for your effort, for your project of life is working like that in Canada. Really nice, excellent. This is our final considerations because we cannot extend this too much because he has his appointments in Canada,
Yeah.
and he kindly stopped them to have this chat with us. Okay, people. Really nice talking to you, Delto. Really nice talking to you again. A good friend of mine. It's a student who become a good friend of mine. And I'd like to cheer you, to salute you for your success in Canada. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, as I said, it's a pleasure for me to talk. And if you need in the further time in a second round, I'm here.
Really nice. Really nice. Excellent. Osvaldo, thank you very much for your support. Marcia, Emilio, Dennis, and Carol. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation. I hope you enjoyed it.
Very much.
I hope you enjoyed it. That was really nice. You got one of the best. We are improving this, and I guess this is one of the top classes you had the opportunity to watch. Okay, people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a great day for everyone.
Bye bye. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Bye, people.
Bye-bye.
See you. Okay, stopping.